Thank you so much. That was so nice of you. I'm excited, so excited to see all of you here. Of course, I'm excited, but the kids are really excited. You're their second audience, and they had a really nice audience with their fellow classmates at Friedell yesterday. But this is like the ultra special audience. So we really appreciate you being here. And just a couple of things. The program, it was pointed out to me, well, actually, how it was said was, Poppy, you screwed it up. I'm like, really? But anyway, if they want to put the blame on me, that's okay. But there is something in the program that's not correct. And the quartet needs to have a couple other people listed there and a couple of them removed. Nathaniel Cook is correct for the quartet, but then Hadley Lang, Kelly Frost, and Michelle Haddock should be listed there. And so we were thinking maybe other programs could be made for those kids so that they can actually have a real program with their name in it. So yeah, and maybe a couple extras for the family, but sorry about that. Also, just a reminder that my cell phone kind of goes off in the wrong time sometimes, and so I always appreciate somebody reminding me to turn it to vibrate or silent or whatever. If you want to take pictures, there's a couple different ways of doing that. If you have a camera that doesn't make a flash, you can do it during the play, unless it makes a lot of noise. But other than that, if you have a flash photography, we appreciate that you don't take them during the play. Afterwards, I'm sure the kids will be really happy to pose for you and on stage and get all kinds of pictures then. So I think that's about it. I think that's all I needed to say. I'm going to run upstairs. I am also running lights and sound, so it just takes me a minute to get set up there, and then we'll get started. Oh, there is one thing. Aha! Somebody sent me a mental message. I got it. Okay. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, any parent or friend who really likes the idea of taking a set apart, it's called Strike. Tomorrow morning, at 9 a.m., I'm going to meet anybody who can actually come to Strike and help in front of John Adams. If you can, if you happen to have a portable drill driver with Phillips heads for the Phillips screws that sets put together with, that would be great if you can come. But I also would kind of like to have an idea of if anybody's coming, how many. So if you could kind of let me know at the end of the play, I'll be here or I'll be here with whatever. And I guess if you happen to have a spare ladder, we don't need too many, but just in case, let me know. And if I've heard that everybody's bringing a ladder, I can tell you, no, you don't have to bring yours. But it shouldn't take more than an hour if we have like 5 or 6 people. It really goes pretty fast. So that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in front of the building. And the reason I say in front of the building is because the building will be locked, and I just have to let everybody in with my magic key. So anyway, thank you so much again for coming, and I hope you love the show. Thank you.
you with the heat. Credit is no good for a notion salesman.
Board on the board!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Anvil salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City next!
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the butts and hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods, cash for the hard goods, cash for the soft goods, cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the doggins and the piggins and the virgins. What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk, you can talk. You can talk, bicker, you can talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill.
Hill?
Hill?
Hill,
Hill?
Hill?
No! Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman Hill.
know the territory. What? Just a minute.
Never worries about his line
Never worries about his line.
or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat bell ringing baseball great go necking up and grip war never come a bullseye salesman.
That's Professor Hill. Harold Hill.
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you
He's
talk?
a music man.
He's a what? He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town. With the big trombones and the red headphones and the big breast bass, and the piccolo. Uniforms too with a shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe on it.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living on big trombone. No, sir. Mandolin picks for hats and hear their juice talk.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king. And he dallies in the gowns and he tucks and he frowns. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The poker pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, you cross the state line into our River City, population 2,212. Board!
All right, Friedell, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's giving every single one of us a black eye. After he's worked a town over, the next salesman to arrive automatically gets tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail.
But why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction booklets, he has to teach them kids how to play, and to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
Sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip, not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't try to sell them neckbowed Hawkeyes out here.
Board!
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Don't believe I dropped it. britches all day.
And so there I was in Madison Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come. Your Aunt Bertha's dead. She wouldn't have come anyway.
We can be cold as a falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so bright and stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and a bag to go with it if your cross should happen to die.
So what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us, even though we may not ever mention it again.
You really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Clearwood, Ames, Clear Lake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Morning. 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 Good morning.
See, it goes over here. No, it's supposed to go over there. What is your problem? What? Just put it in the middle.
Mr. Squires. Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Then I expect you not to see the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late as usual.
Gregory! Marcellus!
Whoa, you old son of a gun. What? Shh. But Craig.
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, why didn't you let me know you were coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffenmeyer, she's the boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's this new pitch? You're not back in the band business, are ya?
Huh?
But I heard you were in steam automobiles.
I was.
So, what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
So, give me the lowdown here, Mars.
Well, you never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher, and she'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
She's the librarian, female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. So, how are you going to start this new pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. My next step is to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
Greg, we got one problem, though. River City isn't in any trouble.
Well, then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band, you remember? So, what's new around here? What could I use?
Nothing, really. Oh, except the billiard parlor. They just spent in a new pool table.
Never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you're not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friends. Right here I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help you cultivate horse sense, and a cool head and a keen eye. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bump, with a capital B that rhymes with P that stands for pool. No, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on with the loafing around that hall? They be trying out Bevo, trying out Cubats, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale wreck with senses. One fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance at the Armory, Liberty men and scarlet women and ragtime. Shameless music that'll grab your sons and your daughters by the arms of the jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble, 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 trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. So's your old man. If so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
Capital T and that rhymes with P that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
We've surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
With the T.
With the T.
Gotta rhyme with P.
Gotta rhyme with P.
That stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
Excuse me, miss. Did you drop here?
No.
Didn't I meet you and...
No.
Look, I'll only be in town a short while.
Good.
Hello, dear. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Yes, ma'am. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town. What? I never saw him before. Did he say anything? He tried. Did you say anything? Mama, of course not. All right, Amaryllis. Now your exercises. So don't vibrate. Teach me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind me saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should they take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and older Mother highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of stop changing every subject. No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger. What stranger? Listen, guys, who may be a very last chance. Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention. I know all about your standards, if you don't mind me saying so. There's not a man alive who would hope to measure up to that. When the Pope, when you say, Patton, Noah Webster, you've concocted for yourself. Hey, Irish imagination, you're always stubbornness, and your library's full of books. Well, if that isn't the best I ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear. Is that any way to walk into a house? Hello. That's one to all. I'll have a hug from me, boy. The lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I'd especially like it very much if you come, Winthrop.
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to a party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
Oh, Daddy won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis. Why does he get so mad just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, dear. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
Well, what's the other part?
Well, it's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear, we all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't talk to me, but I do to him every night. I say goodnight from the evening star. You have to do it the second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, Margaret. Good night. Sleep, tiny.
There, darling, you have plenty of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Marian.
For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the right name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crossword piece.
grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. As Mayor of River City, I welcome you, River Cityazians, to the annual 4th of July high exercises set up here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 4 The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. Oh, the members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about the costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watanyi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will now present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, shall take the leading part.
Watanyi.
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 I will now cut to 20 in the Indian tongue. 18 to the feather fit. I shot George. Who shot me?
Who set off that cracker?
I know who did it. Tommy Gillis did it. Tommy Gillis.
Yes, it was Tommy Gillis. Tommy Gillis, I wouldn't go anywhere if I were you.
Mrs. Shin will recover. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will take place, providing the weather clears up by 9:30.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Eber. That's why we was all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last long in the banking business being accurate most of the time.
Never.
Will you members of the school board quit bickering in public?
All in the world I said was
Never mind.
We hear there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now just a minute here.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises, so we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. May I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with the trouble, friends, with my hand this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a refugee boys' band. Think, my friends, have any pool table ever hoped to compete with the gold trombone? Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to sing fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, Billy and Paula Walls coming tumbling down. Band will do it, my friends. So yes, I'm in a boys' band. Do you hear me? I say, Riverside, that I have a boys' band. I mean, she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's and put my hand at Riverside, that I have a boys' band. Sure as the Lord. That band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets. Ta-ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberace, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, John Philip Sousa, all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones lit the big parade, 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, 110 cornets right behind. There are more than 1,000 reeds ringing up like weeds. There are horns of every shape.
That man is a spellbinder. I want his credentials. Grab that one up.
Thank you, Professor. Have to make an example of him. Ringleader, you know. What he does, the gang does.
Jeez, oh, Pete, let me go.
You wild kid, ya. Tagging after my eldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict
We
me.
was just walking together. Jeez, oh, Pete.
I know what you used to do with my little crazy side. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you're here from me till who laid the rails. Hill, I'll see you over at City Hall about this band thing on Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. I want his credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough and he's got his gang waiting outside.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady, young miss, what's your name?
Zanita, I don't have any idea you was beckoning to me. Ye gads!
Zanita, do you know Tommy Julius?
Oh, well,
Tommy, escort the young lady home by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gads!
Thank you. Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. You made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. What was my other mistake?
That, Zanita, that is the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We'd like to have your credentials. We are the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
They can put up a bond.
Just a minute. What am I hearing? Say, ice cream.
Ice cream. I don't sing, young man, if that's what you...
All right, talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
See, singing is only sustained talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love?
I don't suppose you live alone or anything?
No.
I've got some wonderful caramels at my hotel if you'd like.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill?
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree? for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of Op 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory.
Oh, hey, Mars. Don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with that music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
You could have swapped tonight.
I'm in rare form these days, boys. You just watch me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it only takes 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Greg, you haven't added uniforms yet?
Uniforms and instruction books.
Greg, you can't pass yourself off as a band professor. I mean, not in any 4 weeks.
Mars.
You don't even know one note from another.
But when the instruments arrive, they forget everything else. At least. Long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. And I have it timed down to the very last wave while it's brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, if you'll excuse me.
Gonna line yourself a little canoodling, huh?
Well.
Listen, I can fix it with Ethel's sister. She's a lovely girl. Teacher Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of child ties knots no sailor ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle, the golden, glorious, pristine, gleaming goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fun. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss?
I spark, I fizz, for the lady who knows what time it is.
I cheer, I rave, when I get to play the dashing knight, the sadder but wiser girls for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a rolling dice romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir.
Why, she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop!
I spark, I fizz, for the lady who knows what time it is.
I shin, I fly, for the lady who really knows how to fly.
I cheer, I pray, for a situation I can say.
The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl's for me.
Our mayor's wife, isn't this exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. I could not say. Oh no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my plans on the music committee includes a... No, do that again, Mrs. Shin. The way you raised your foot just now.
Oh, well, I have a bunion there that bothers.
Oh, what grace, what natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' classical auxiliary dance, mustn't she, ladies?
Oh yes, you must, Eulalie.
Every move you make bespeaks Del Sart. Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
Eulalie McKechnie Shin. Well, that is dancing. Well.
Then you accept?
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say...
Now, the lady who plays piano, Ms. Peru, I believe. Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, 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 chip. Professor, her kind of woman is a lot. Any kitty, chip, chip. I should tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a lot, pick a little more. Balzac. Chip, 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 chip.
And the worst thing, of course, is she'll tell you this. I'll tell.
Man lived on my street, let me tell.
Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? You mean Madison Hospital, Madison Picnic Park, Madison Gymnasium. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who'd we think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library going to the city.
But he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That woman made brazen overtures with a gilt-edged guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver fortune-turpin ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lettuce called a steel hair, where a woman's heart should be.
He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer.
Balzac. Chip, 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 chip. Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a little, pick a little more. Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip,
Yes,
chip.
I'm just what you need over the
Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a little, pick a little more. Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little.
Good night, ladies.
Chip, 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 chip. Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a little, pick a little more. Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a little, pick a little more. Pick a little, tuck a little, pick a little, tuck a little, chip, chip, chip. Tuck a little, pick a little more. Pick a little, tuck a little, 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 chip, 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 chip. Pick a little, tuck a little, chip.
It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You are probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. Only be in kind of
Will
short
you
while.
please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Peewees, and 1 great big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No.
Madam Librarian. What can I do? My dear, to catch your ear. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademen to whisper the news to Marion. What can I do? My dear, to make it clear, I need you badly, 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 Marian, Marian. If I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I would lie on the floor unnoticed till my body had turned to Marian. Madam Librarian. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian, Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian such as Marian. Madam Librarian. Ladies Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights. Marshmallow? Ms. Peru, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
The boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles. By George. Not that he could really ever be great, however you understand.
And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Hara, O'Smith.
But Professor, we are Irish!
No, really? That clinches it. Sign here, Ms. Peru. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine. That will be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at opening of band practice. Oh, and I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Hello, son.
We have
A stripe, certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winter, Professor. We can't get him to stay 3 hours a day, even class. And if you get him to play in the band, it would be a miracle. Say, Professor, where are you from?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
What's now?
Gold medal class of '05. Hello, Ms. Peru.
Mr. Hill. He wants to put Winthrop in the band. Do you burst in on everyone's home like this? Marian! We're not interested.
Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else? I do hope you'll excuse Marian, Professor. She's not really...
Please, I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day, Ms. Peru.
Good day, Professor. Marian Peru! Has he gone? I hope not forever, darling. Don't you ever think of your future. Gary, Indiana, class of '05. Not darling.
Now, Mama, the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. But it's a well-known principle that if you keep the steel in one drawer and the flint in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go down to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down.
Now what are you up to? Why do you need a book at this hour of night?
I have a feeling that the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Meet me after supper.
Meet you where?
The footbridge.
Last time the lumberyard is now the footbridge, and where will I meet you next? The Black Hole of Calcutta? Ye gads!
Laylee?
Tommy, it's Papa!
Didn't I say, get that spellbinder Harold Hill's credentials? I said it the morning of July 4th, 1912.
Yes, George, but...
And now the whole town's turned upside down. The school board is singing up and down the alley instead of attending to school matters.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Is who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of up 5.
If you'll just take time to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look further. It's on page.
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming up from the depot.
The Wells Fargo wagon at this hour of the day?
It could be a band instrument.
A band instrument. I want that man's credentials.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on me birthday.
In March I got a gray Mackinac.
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Montgomery Ward set me up at the bend. I cross-cut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down. Is it a prepaid surprise or COD?
It could be curtains or dishes or a double boiler. Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Yes, for me.
Oh, Wells Fargo wagon is a coming now. I don't know how I can ever wait to see. It could be someone who had no relation, but it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, keep a coming. Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, keep a coming. Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, don't you dare to make a stop until you stop for me.
It's the band instrument!
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet! Gee, thanks, Professor!
Kids, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, sister, never saw anything so scrumptious as a scrumptious all go thing, oh sister!
Round 1 for you, Professor Hill. But I better hear some by God tooting out of those horns, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come, George.
Just a second, I need to get something from the library.
Thank you, Professor. I've never seen Winthrop so happy.
My pleasure, Ms. Prue.
Start out, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new stuff Professor Harold Hill taught us.
Okay, what'll it be?
The Shapoopy.
Shapoopy!
Now a woman who kissed on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a woman who kissed on the second time out, anything but fussy. But a woman who waited the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shaboopy.
Shaboopy, 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 the girl who's hard to get. Shaboopy, 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 but you can win her yet.
Walk her once just to raise the curtain, then you walk her on twice, make sure for certain. Once more in the flower garden, she will never get sore if you beg her pardon.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
Squeeze her once when she is, and looking if you get a squeeze back. It's fancy cooking. Once more for pepper upper, she will never get sore on her way to supper.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do.
Now little old stout, she was an old gal, as anyone could see. But look at her now, she's a go-gal, who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she is, and looking if you get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for pepper upper, she will never get sore on her way to supper.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do. Shaboopy, 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 the girl is hard to get. Shaboopy, 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 but you can win her yet.
Come on, Professor, show us some new steps.
Shaboopy, 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 the girl who's hard to get. Shaboopy, 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 but you can win her yet. You can win her yet. Shaboopy!
Get your hands off my daughter!
Mr. Shin, Your Honor, you don't know how you're going to study behind your back. We'd rather do it in front of your back, but...
I'm gonna warn you once more.
Now, George.
I want poop out of you, madam.
I think he means peeve.
You all know what I mean. Now you know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out, you wild kid.
It's capulets like you to make bad blood in the marketplace. Eat gas!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home.
Mr. Shin, Your Honor, I want you to know that I am vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be waiting in line to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they've gotten from tripping over their beards. Now I'll tell you something, my fine young feathered young, never mind. Oliver, JC, Ewart, all in. I want this man's references, and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tom's defense.
Well, a man cannot dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man only 500.
I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet, mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor.
No, Miss Marion. The think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but If you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 turn a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 turn a lot.
Oh dear, tonight dancing the Shapumi with Professor Hill.
Chip, 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 turn a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 chip.
You dance like a fairy princess with a moonbeam for your floor, with golden shimmering hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of flowers filled with tears, from heart to cheek.
Balzac.
Mama! Winter, where have you been? Fishing! Fishing? With Harold. He told me about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and that he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that hardly had any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation how I happened on this elegant escapade, I would go without a moment of hesitation. There is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I have to go show Amarillo my live can of worms. La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da, la-dee-da.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
You the piano teacher in town?
Why, yes.
Then you must know about this fella Hill forming a boys band here.
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods in him in spades. Swindling 2-bit thimble rigger. I'm only passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? My old lady's corset covered. That fellow's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me. He's not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? He's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his scholastic.
Now, wait a minute. Fine director? Have you heard of one note of music from any band?
Well, no, but.
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
You'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I've got to leave work. I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. Hey, what am I doing? If I miss that train, I'll get fired. And I gotta leave word about that fellow Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How would I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and that's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers like you he cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last me, girl.
Marion? Marion, who said you were talking to just... Why, Professor Hill!
Mrs. Friedell, top of the evening, Ms. Marion.
Why don't you and Marion consent? I've got a pie in the oven.
There's no pie in the oven, Mama.
Well, I'll put one in.
Shall we?
Set, as your mother said.
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Professor Hill, is it true that you... What I'm trying to say is, I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Ms. Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. One even hears rumors about librarians.
You must be referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a short job so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe.
Of course not. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Now, why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness. Jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Well, just that. But, of course, it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, take you, for instance. Your attentions to customers and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? Now, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say if another salesman or someone were jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear, doesn't it? If you discuss things.
Ms. Marion, I'd be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps.
We could also sit on a large hauled log over at the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk. Meet me there in 15 minutes.
I can't. Please, some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I want to make today worth remembering. The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes. Glory be and the saints be praised. In what? What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
One Grecian urn. 2 Grecian urns. And a fountain. Trickle, 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 trickle.
Stop. Listen to this man.
You gullible green brass goats. I'm talking about Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he's walked into this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band, there never has been any band, and there never will be any band. And if you don't catch this man right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you listen to me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back. Money back? I want his hide.
After him. And when you find him, bring him back here. After him. Greg! Some guy's going around town spilling everything.
All right, Mars, get the rake.
Well, I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction?
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Okay, look. If you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you can be my guest, but...
I'll meet you in the hotel in plenty of time. Ms. Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, I'd say that you were about 26 years late. Took you all of this time to get to the footbridge with the fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Ms. Marion, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything?
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
Ms. Marion, I don't recall giving...
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. There were bells in the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Ms. Marion, there's a lot you don't know about me.
Hey, Greg!
Please excuse me. I'm expecting a telegram from Hector Berlioz.
What? Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
Well, I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
She's so far off balance, you can't tell her from a cat boat in a hurricane.
Go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the band. Business. Now, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, we don't have to go into those things just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter. Harold, the librarian, hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came to town.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of Ot 5. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in Ot 5.
Why, there's certainly...
Because the town wasn't even built till Ot 6. I will see you on the sociable.
You knew all this time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came.
Why, you little...
Greg! Who's not down here? Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Hey, wait a minute there, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me me go!
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
Would do.
What not?
Would do. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Let me go, you big liar!
Hey, what's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're gonna stand here until you get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a great kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, just so you quit moping around and feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing isn't any of your business now that I think about it.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop. Do you believe him, sister? I believe everything he ever said. The way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted, especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door.
Greg! They're here! That way, that way!
Go on, Professor. That way, that way!
Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I shall not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to River City, and if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. Is there a member in this hall who does not think that Professor Harold Hill should be tarred and feathered? If there is one, stand up. You lady, sit down. Have you people forgotten how you paid for high-priced band instruments, technical instruction booklets, and expensive band uniforms? Have you people forgotten the clear guarantee and warranty that your son or daughter will be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where is the band?
Think, men. Think.